आप जल्दी क्या रहती है बहुत? आप इतने परेशान क्यों रहते हैं हर वक्त? लालू के साथ आपका पर्सनल वेंडिटा मुझे मालूम है। लालू कल तक आपका मेहरबान था, मुझे मालूम है। लालू आपका मेहरबान था, आपका गाइड था, आपका फिलोसफर था, आपका लीडर था। आप इतने परेशान क्यों?
प्रधानमंत्री जी आपको ये शोभा नहीं दे रहा।
अरे इस तरह
अच्छा, आपको ये शोभा नहीं दे रहा है। आप वहाँ किस स्थिति में थे?
Prime Minister, are you yielding to him?
आपको शोभा नहीं दे रहा है।
Are you yielding to him?
प्रधानमंत्री जी, ये आपको शोभा नहीं दे रहा है। आप किस तरह से वहाँ से इलेक्ट होकर के आए, ये भी आप बता दीजिए जरा। आप राज्यसभा में कैसे इलेक्ट हो सके? अगर ये हम बता दें तो
He is not yielding. Mr. Nitish.
Prime Minister stands up, you are disturbing. No, this is not correct. He is not yielding. He is not yielding. How are you just talking when he is not yielding?
प्रधानमंत्री लगाएंगे आरोप जवाब देने का मौका नहीं देंगे। प्राइम मिनिस्टर हम पर आरोप लगाएंगे और हमको जवाब।
What आरोप लगाया?
क्या देख लीजिए क्या कहा उन्होंने, क्या कहा उन्होंने, आप सुना नहीं? क्या कहा उन्होंने?
Please.
नहीं, यह अन्याय मत
You know,
कीजिए।
you are a senior member. Please don't disturb.
नहीं, यह अन्याय मत
Please,
कीजिए।
yesterday also you did.
and also grateful to the leader of opposition that he has drawn the attention of the House to this very vital issue. I think on one point, all of us, and I emphasize all, are agreed that corruption is something which requires our attention, urgent attention, and also very firm attention. The first day when I spoke in this House, sir, when asking for confidence, I had promised three things. One, and that was, and I'm glad and grateful to leader of opposition, that he has repeated all the promises that I made. And I repeat them again, and I confirm them again. And I'm also grateful to leader of opposition that while reminding me of my promises, he has not made an allegation that I'm backing out of it. Main point today is, that is very important for us to keep in mind, is that what is the motion before the House? He has at length spoken about Bihar. He has every right to. And I will also come to it. And I think it is important for us to talk about it. It is important for us to pay our attention to this. But one thing is very important, and that is that although in the end he said that he has moved his motion to draw our attention to it. If that was the intention, then it should have been done some other article of the business, not under the adjournment motion, as my friend, the Mr. Somnath Chatterjee had pointed out. But anyhow, I will not take your time on that. I am, as you know, sir, said several times, and I repeat again, I have great respect for Atal Bihari Vajpayee for several reasons. But one of the reasons is that he is very sober, he is very balanced, he is very prudent, and he also is not known as an activist. So therefore, when he talks of passivity, I think there's either something wrong with the translation of the word, or there is something which English has confused him about. Main point basically is that from the day I assumed office, and that was not long ago, the first day, and I've been saying that any person in public life, be he a minister, be he a chief minister, or anything, anybody who is charged for corruption should step down voluntarily. I have said it in public, I have demanded in public, I have said it privately, I have also conveyed my message privately. And I'm saying again today that I think anybody who wants to act and work in the public life should keep himself above all suspicion. Because unless we build that type of probity in our life, life can never go on. And I agree with the leader of opposition that this 50th year particularly, all of us have to determinedly move about it. He has objected, and I'm surprised. He has objected that why do I ask public to cooperate? Is it not a fact? Or does he not know? Because he also contests election. Don't people come to him and tell him that for getting an electric connection, people have to pay money? Don't people tell him to get a map or plan or anything approved, people have to pay money? Does he not know that every police station they have complained against? Does he not know that day-to-day life has become miserable, impossible, and difficult because of corruption? Does he not know it? And if in that context I had asked the public cooperation, did I do a wrong thing? Can you possibly eliminate corruption only because attacking the politicians? Yes, it's important. All of us who occupy high office, it is important for us to remain above suspicion. Otherwise, we cannot possibly run democracy. I totally repeat what he has assigned to me, that public life cannot be run probity without morality. Morality is always very important. And that was the essence of our freedom struggle. Gandhiji always talks of ends and means. And those ends and means still matter to all of us. And therefore, I think on this particular issue at least, we should not have been divided. On this particular issue, I think we should unitedly respond. He has just now drawn my attention to the judgment of the court. And I have also received the message almost simultaneously as he did. And my response would have been there even when he would or would not have read it. I can only assure him that we will definitely respond to the situation. After all, central government has two agencies through which it runs. So where states are concerned, CBI is often mentioned about. What is CBI? The CBI is prosecuting Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav. Is it or is it not? Is it not a fact that CBI is agency of the government of India? Is it not a fact that the CBI's constructive responsibility for its actions to this house, I am accountable? If that is a fact, then where does our passivity come in? At one time, it was said that nobody should interfere in the function of CBI. Correct. We have not. And that is why we have let it go on. And that is why they have been now, as you have seen, in the court itself. They have been, the CBI has been the agency which has been resisting the what is called, what?
Grant of bells.
Correct. I sometimes miss the legal word and start using for non-legal words. Not illegal, non-legal. Main, therefore, is that the subject has been, I wish an experienced man like Atal Bihari Vajpayee should not have talked about governor. Governor should not be discussed here. His conduct should not be discussed here. Governor is a head of the state. And in that agency, in that capacity, it is for him to decide what he wants to do and what he wants to say. To give permission, withhold permission, dismiss a government, non-dismiss. He has his own area of action and activity. And I can only say, and I have said in public, that we have not at any stage tried to tell the governor as to what he should or should not do. My word should be taken for it. And that is why when he gave permission, and also a legal point arises, and that legal point, I am told, was given to the advice by the legal authorities. And that is that when the governor gives permission, you have to pay for that. That when the governor gives a permission, and I'm not defending it, I'm only explaining the legal position. This is said here. Yes. This is the advice given to the government by the Solicitor General. And he says in giving sanction for prosecution, the governor does not pass any judgment on the guilt of the accused. Whether sanction is or is not necessary is determined by the references to the allegation, any complaint, and no defense we ask for. Therefore, and he is quoting one case called Hari Ram case in AIR 1939, etc. I will details I could place on the table of the House, and then the table House could look at it. The allegation, therefore, is that whatever is true or is not true is to be judged by the court. When giving the permission, governor only gives a sanction for prosecution to see that there is some foundation for the charges so that the prosecution can proceed, which it cannot in the absence of the sanction for the prosecuting public servant. The guilt of the accused is only determined by the verdict of the criminal court whose jurisdiction it may lie. My purpose is not to defend anybody. My purpose is not to say whether he did the right or the wrong. My purpose is only to appraise the honorable members of the House what the legal authorities have told us. Only this morning I summoned him And I asked him, what is the position vis-a-vis government? My friend Atal Bihari Vajpayee has also drawn my attention to what C. Subramaniam said. I was also present. I also heard him. He had said governor should have withdrawn his plea. He did not. So that is something which I can neither defend nor see a complaint against. None of us can, because it is for the governor to decide whether he defaulted or it did not default. My only one responsibility was, which I have discharged fully. One of my ministers, permission was given to take action against him or prosecute him. I asked him to resign that very day, and Mr. Verma resigned, and he is not in the government. I discharged my responsibility fully that day, and therefore I upheld what I have been saying. And today I can only say this thing, and I'll proceed from this, and that is that the point is therefore most important point. Public life, and I repeat, cannot be really advanced, particularly in democracy, unless we hold the morality as a principle. Morality is extremely important for us, and therefore we have to be very cautious on this, that no finger is raised on us. I totally go with that. I'm equally important for me is to say this, that again I repeat, conduct of all of us is always under scrutiny. Each one of us sitting in this house or in any other legislature lives in a glass house. We're all being observed all the time. And that is why it is important for us to keep in mind the fact that people who have elected us or may elect us tomorrow again or may not, they are all the time watching us. And if somebody falls short of it, of course, ultimately people decide. But I am not passing on the buck. There are some responsibilities that I have, but I am also more than that. It is responsibility on my part that I uphold the rule of law. I hope nobody expects me to go beyond the rule of law. We have once experienced in this very house when rule of law was flouted. And my friends like Atal Bihari Vajpayee and others were for several months in jail because they were not conforming with that fiat. I do not want to rule by fiats. I do not want to become authoritarian. I want to assert not my authority, but I want to assert the regality or the majesty of the rule of law. And that is what we are all about. If we do not observe the rule of law, then who else will? And that is why I understand fully that where my area is and where the court's area is confined to. This system has been built, I think, with great deal of vision. The Constitution is the witness of that, evidence of that. Judiciary has its own area. Executive has its own, and this Parliament has its own area defined, and therefore we do not want to go beyond that. But more important, I repeat again and again, credibility in public life. It is extremely important that we remain credible. I had, and I can assure you again and repeat, both in private and in public, advised the Chief Minister of Bihar to step down. He did not. Now, after that, the question of 356 arises. And I think, again, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee and both were present in that Interstate Council meeting, where the chief ministers belonging to his party, more than any other, were cautioning me again and again not to use 356. They were saying again and again, 356 should be used with caution. They were telling me again and again, please let me finish now, it is not clear.
Let him.
The main point was, when the Interstate Council met under the chairmanship of my colleague, the Home Minister, they identified two areas on which there was an agreement. The 356 should be used when the external threat is there, or when there is a danger to from terrorism, and a state administration gets mixed up there. On third area, which there was sharp differences, was secularism. We on this side of the house believe that any state government which does not believe in secularism should their 356 can be justified. But I did not force it that day also. And again, Vajpayee was sitting there. And also his colleagues were sitting there. When I said, all right, let us again persuade each other. Let us again talk to each other. But my belief is firm, and that is that the Indian unity can be sustained only on the basis of secularism. And unless we remain secular, we will not be able to keep this nation together. Some people don't believe in it. Well, it is the matter of their belief. But we firmly believe in it. And that is why we said that day that 356 can be used only in those circumstances. And we want to say it again. I'm not going to speak for long now. Therefore, the main point I would like to repeat. And again, I want to draw my cue from my worthy colleague, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He has said there should be quick judgment. Yes. I have written to all chief ministers. I have written to all of them requesting them to set up special courts for this purpose. Some of them have replied. Some of them have not. And most of them who have not yet replied belong to your party, not to my party. All those who have assured me that they are setting up special courts or have set up special courts are from this side and not from that side. And I would urge you, please tell them, please ask them, please beseech them, please request them. Go on your knees if you have to set up special courts. So that these special courts dispose of very quickly and everything that we done. Therefore, one thing that I must say, and that is, let us draw a distinction between legality and probity. Probity important, legality is sacrosanct. We must not do anything which can have smack or even smell of illegality. Because if this house starts doing it, then who else will uphold the law, the rule of law? And that is why I feel, therefore, this is what I feel is very important for us to keep in mind. The other point that I like to draw your attention is that after all, who has charge sheeted Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav? CBI? Whose agency is CBI? Centers? In which department of the government of India does CBI function? Prime Minister's office. And if this is passivity, I don't know what is activity. If that is passivity, then the department functioning directly under my charge, not only does it charge sheet him, not only does it oppose the anticipatory bail, then with what face, with what level and how am I accused of passivity? This is the department that functions like this. 5 IAS officers have been accused. I must explain that also. Government of India's permission has been sought. The Government of India have found that against 2, there is enough evidence they should be prosecuted. 1 has retired. So therefore it is for the CBI or anybody else to decide whether they want to prosecute him or they don't want to prosecute him. Against 2, the Government of India did not find enough evidence, but all the same, again to uphold the rule of law, I have referred this to Attorney General. Asked Attorney General's advice whether the government should or should not give permission, and this, my law minister tells me, is now under their consideration. Therefore, I would only say this thing, that when we are thinking in terms of a situation, let us not play politics. This is not a political issue. There is an issue, you have rightly said, about the future of Republic. This is an issue in which all of us must unanimously and in unity raise our voice if we want clean public life. And I can only assure you one thing, my language may or may not be soft. My determination is very serious. And this promise I had given you, and I give you again, and I repeat it. At the moment, I think my friend has drawn my attention to the latest judgment given by the High Court. High Court. As a result of this, a new situation has arisen. A new situation has arisen. आप जल्दी कह रही है बहुत, आप इतने परेशान क्यों रहते हैं हर वक्त? लालू के साथ आपका पर्सनल वेंडिटा मुझे मालूम है. लालू कल तक आपका मेहरबान था, मुझे मालूम है. लालू आपका मेहरबान था, आपका गाइड था, आपका फिलोसफर था, आपका लीडर था. आप इतने परेशान क्यों?
प्रधानमंत्री जी आपको ये शोभा नहीं देना है.
अरे इस तरह
अच्छा, आपको ये शोभा नहीं देना है. आप वहाँ किस स्थिति में थे?
Mr. Prime Minister, are you yielding to him?
आपको शोभा नहीं देना है.
Are you yielding to him?
बोल रहे हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी, ये आपको शोभा नहीं देना है. आप किस तरह से वहाँ से इलेक्ट होकर के आए, ये भी आप बता दीजिए जरा. आप राज्यसभा में कैसे आए इलेक्ट होकर के? अगर ये हम बता दें तो
He is not yielding. Mr. Nitish, Mr. Nitish Kumar, he is not yielding to you.
Mr. Nitish, he is not yielding to you. Mr. Nitish, Mr. Nitish, Mr. Nitish, he is not yielding to you. So nothing will go on record.
आपको दारू की जरूरत है, आपको दारू की जरूरत है, इसको नहीं है। This is the person. He does not remember what you are doing half an hour ago.
No, nothing will go on record.
only wanted to say this thing.
का भाव है, लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री जी आपने जो कहा, इन्होंने हमारे बारे में कहा इसलिए हमको।
Mr. Nitish,
Yesterday also you did the same thing. The moment Prime Minister stands up, you are disturbing. No, this is not correct. He is not yielding. He is not yielding. How are you just talking when he is not yielding?
nothing will go on record. One personal allegation. Please, please, Mr. Nitish, please let him complete his speech. No, no.
May I say,
Please.
नहीं, प्रधानमंत्री लगाएंगे आरोप जवाब देने का मौका नहीं देंगे।
नहीं,
प्राइम मिनिस्टर हम पर आरोप लगाएंगे और हमको जवाब।
what आरोप लगाया?
क्या देख लीजिए क्या कहा उन्होंने, क्या कहा उन्होंने, आप सुने नहीं?
What is it?
क्या कहा उन्होंने?
Please, please.
नहीं, यह अन्याय मत
You know,
कीजिए।
you are a senior member. Please don't disturb.
नहीं, यह अन्याय मत
Please,
कीजिए।
yesterday also you did the same thing.
ये अन्याय
Naturally,
मत
he will
कीजिए।
get. Please.
दुर्योधन के सामने ये द्रोणाचार्य बन के रह सकते हैं, हम लोग नहीं रह सकते।
sir, up to now, sir, this Prime Minister
Please.
अरे यार तो मेरे को बैठो। Sir, may I say this thing? Nitish,
What is it? What is it? That will not.
sir, Nitish,
सर अब मुझको मौका मिलना चाहिए।
अरे तेरे लिए
Enough. No.
अब आप कुछ कहिए।
Nitish Kumar. Mr. Nitish Kumar.
मैं
Please.
आपकी गाली भी दे दूंगा,
Mr. Nitish Kumar.
लेकिन आप कुछ कराएंगे।
Mr. Nitish Kumar.
sir, Nitish,
Please.
Nitish Kumar, Nitish
His
Kumar,
word,
should not
that
get
word
excited.
should be expelled.
He is an old friend.
What that become a word that
and
should
I'm
be
very
become.
fond of him. Sir, I repeat, he has not heard it because he will
Please.
be back. Nitish Kumar.
Don't interrupt now.
Nitish Kumar,
Don't interrupt.
sir, I want to say. Sir, Nitish Kumar is an old friend, and I'm very fond of him.
Please.
So whatever I have said in a friendly spirit. I love him all the same. Sir, before I conclude,
हाँ, थैंक यू।
in conclusion, I would say, up till now, before this judgment came, the judgment to which my worthy friend, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, has referred to. Up till now, I was referring to, and if I had spoken before the judgment was referred to, I would have said that there are 2 or 3 options open all the time. One is persuasion. One is try to draw attention to morality and probity. And if our party were functioning as it should have been, which unfortunately is not, then inner party pressures could have been built. Second, of course, was the other way about, and that was if somebody who is being accused, he would have realized for himself that it is for his longer interest also, his own interest also, to step down. He has not. Now, with the denial of the anticipatory bail, a new situation has arisen. I can only assure that government will take due cognizance of it and will not be found wanting, but it will not act in a hurry, because I must see to it that legality is preserved and the rule of law is upheld. May I say, lastly, before I sit down, my commitments to 3 points, which I made in the beginning of my tenure. And those are, we shall not spare anybody, be anybody, belonging to this side or that side, who indulges in corruption. We shall always be transparent.
रॉयल इंडिया में आपका स्वागत है। भारत के सबसे विश्वसनीय सोलर मोटर पंप और एमपीपीटी कंट्रोलर निर्माता। रॉयल इंडिया का हाई परफॉर्मेंस मूवेबल ट्रॉली सोलर वाटर पंपिंग सिस्टम प्रस्तुत है। बेहतर दक्षता के लिए डिजाइन किया गया और आसानी से ले जाने योग्य। सरकारी परियोजनाओं के लिए अनुमोदित देश भर के कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स और एजेंसियों की पहली पसंद। एमएनआरई द्वारा अनुमोदित, उल प्रमाणित, उद्योग मानकों के अनुरूप स्वदेशी उत्पाद। सार्थक ऊर्जा समाधान के लिए हमारे साथ साझेदारी करें। आज ही संपर्क करें।